You miss me? Everybody miss me?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is
Don't worry,
5:30
they're just
p.m.
gonna bring
on
in
Wednesday, January the
introductions real
17th.
quick. Real quick though. Today's video is sponsored by Giacomo. Just kidding. They're not sponsoring me, but I'm sponsoring them because what happened in the last few days is pure craziness. Jesse Brown, the Democratic Socialist for District 13, he decided to go on a tirade about, oh, Giacomo is not supporting this dedicated line for the blue line for Indigo. So he goes on a giant conniption fit and he decides that he's just going to start burying them and telling everybody, he's like, do not go there anymore. This is over. If you don't agree with me, then you don't agree with anybody. How democratic of him, as usual, the hypocrite that he is. So I decided that I was going to go over there and um order a pizza. So I got my usual. I got the pepperoni, I got the jalapeno, and this is gonna make everybody cringe. But I got the pineapple, and that's okay, cause you got a little spicy, you got a little salty, and you got a little bit of sweet, just like yours truly. Let's get to the video.
Thank you, Councilors. Leroy Robinson, District 1, Chair of the
My
Committee.
merch.
We do have a few approvals of some mayoral appointments on the agenda and a few reappointments to committees and appointments to committees. We'll start our agenda off this afternoon with the proposal number 12, 2024. Approves the mayor's appointment of Lauren Rodriguez as the Deputy Mayor for Public Health and Safety. Deputy Mayor Rodriguez, come forward, please. Welcome you wherever you want to sit. This presentation will be verbal. As I share with the committee members, we'll have a more in-depth presentation as we get closer to the budget. But for now, just give us a brief overview on who you are to some of our newer counselors and why you should be approved for this appointment.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Lauren Rodriguez, and currently I'm the Deputy Mayor of Public Health and Safety. Well, I was in
Awful.
2023, hopefully with your guys' approval again in 2024. I started my tenure with the city in 2021 as the Director of the Office of Public Health and Safety. At that time, there was maybe 15 people on staff, and to date now, obviously, with the help of council and this administration, we've grown to over 100 people with contractors attached
Jeez.
to it.
That is
Since
so many people.
2022, with the allocation of the ARPA dollars, we have decreased, and also this is also working with IMPD and community organizations. We've decreased crime, specifically criminal homicides, by 32% since.
What does that even mean? Criminal homicide. I saw this number at the beginning of the year and they were bragging about this. Hogset was bragging about this, so I decided to look it up. Homicide. Homicide is a broader term that refers to the killing of one person by another person and encompasses all instances where a person causes the death of another regardless of the circumstance. However, criminal homicide specifically denotes a homicide is considered a criminal offense. It implies that the killing was unlawful and against the criminal laws of a jurisdiction. So what the fuck does that mean? Does that mean like self-defense? Are we talking about there are that many self-defense homicides where now we have to change the goalposts? It's like I don't get it. So I emailed them. Just to let you know, I emailed them. I haven't heard anything back because I want their definition, and I want to know what were well, now that we're moving the goalpost a little bit, what were the numbers before all of this, especially the last 10 years? So far, haven't heard anything.
2022 of fully funding the violence reduction program. Now we have expanded under the direction of Director Bernard Tucker, who will be up here shortly as well, expanded the clinician-led program as well to 24 hours a day, and it's going on the east side. Those are just a few of the accomplishments that OPHS has had since I've been with the city, and our goals for 2024 are to continue those efforts, expanding the clinician-led team, looking at innovative ways to combat mental health issues in our city, looking at how to use the opioid settlement dollars innovatively to get to our community members in their time of need, as well as working with the Housing Hub, the community around the Housing Hub, and the master leasing projects.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. You sound very well prepared today. You practiced that presentation there?
I, may have practiced
Very good job.
in my mirror, but
You did a good job. Thank you so much. Comments or questions from councilors on this appointment for the mayor's office?
Yeah, me. So what she's trying to say is like, look at all this money that we've spent, and look at the reduction in their criminal homicide. Now we need to keep that money going. But just to let you know, it's going to be even more money because of inflation and because every year government employees get like a 2% increase of pay. So this we were right at $1.5 billion budget in 2024, 23, and now it's just going to keep going up. Yeah, and up, and up, and up.
Anyone? Councilor Boots.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Deputy Mayor Rodriguez. Just a quick question on, we understand the federal ARP funds have a limited shelf life, but the opioid settlement funds may have a longer runway. Can you tell us a little bit about when we sunset on the federal ARP funds and what it looks like for the future for the opioid money?
so specifically for the violence reduction stuff, and I apologize, I forgot to mention a critical partner in this whole thing is the Indy Public Safety Foundation. We have been able to take the ARPA dollars, which were allocated from 2022, 2023, and 2024, those 3 years. The violence reduction program that's pushed through OPHS's budget in combination with IMPD, that is actually, you all approved that for 2024 consolidated county dollars. So those ARPA dollars are no longer needed for this year. The funds for ARPA as a total are supposed to be ending in 2024 with, I think, the last day to spend them. They have to be encumbered through the end of 2024, and I hope a CFO can correct me if I'm wrong, and then be spent by 2025. As far as the opioid settlement dollars, it varies. So right now it looks like it's going to be 18 years, right? These allocations will go over 18 years, but it depends on the manufacturer and the distributor that have settled. So I think they get 18 years to pay their settlements, but I don't think that they have to pay it over 18 years. I think that they can pay it sooner than that.
So in other words, don't expect to get the opioid money anytime soon.
Councilor Boots.
Just briefly, is there a ballpark figure that we know or we can suspect is going to be forthcoming with opioid settlement?
I don't want to lie to you about a figure right now. I know I have something in my inbox that I can get to you that I can email you if that's okay.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Perkins, comments or questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Deputy Mayor Rodriguez, thank you for the work that you do. I have two questions. One, how are you measuring the effectiveness of the clinician-led crisis response team? And then talk to us a little bit about the plan for expansion for 2024.
So the measure of success for the clinician-led team, we have to be kind of sensitive here. So the clinician-led team started in July, I want to say, was the date. And we don't have, and Director Bernard Tucker can also correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but we are measuring it based on calls, and then based on how they are interacting in the community as a whole. We are also looking at other measurements. The only thing is, and I know you're a new council member, but I know you're not new to this community. The way that MCAT was set up is kind of what we're dealing with the clinician-led team. So we integrated it with 911, but it's also getting the dispatchers trained to make sure that they are actually dispatching the clinician-led team, as well as getting the community to know what the clinician-led team does, who they are, and who they can respond to. And so what I don't want to do is say, okay, well, we know we're successful if we hit this many calls by this date, because it doesn't take into account for human error. However, we are still tracking it nonetheless. We're also tracking the engagement. We are also tracking the community support around it. If you have any other measurements that you would like us to look into, please let us know. We will definitely keep those in mind.
Yeah, like is there a reduction? Okay, for people who don't know, the MCAT of Indianapolis, the Mobile Crisis Assistance Team. So basically, like, I'm having an anxiety attack, or some crackheads having some kind of mental episode, and right now it's only in downtown, but they're starting to move it to the east side because the east side of Indy is a giant shithole, and Perkins has a valid question. It's like, how are we measuring this? Like, yeah, it's only been, happened in July. It's like, but how do we know, like, mission accomplished? And that's a great question. And basically, she just said a bunch of word salad, and she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Which, I should send another email. Now that I'm thinking about that.
Councilor Perkins?
Just a quick follow-up on that. As it relates to tracking the calls and also integrating dispatch, what's the work that's been done to ensure that as calls are coming into the 911 center, that they are being routed in a way that the clinician-led team can
What's the
respond?
process? Is
So
more
we
like
worked,
it.
specifically with Director Salas or Chief Salas over at Mesa. Him and his team have worked with a clinician that we hired part-time to look at the calls to show, okay, these are the types of calls. I believe, and I don't want to speak for Chief Salas, I believe there's an actual code now. So if you call and say something specific, either clinician-led or a nonviolent mental health issue, they will be dispatched, or at least given the option to be dispatched.
Look like I have some kind of liver
Thank you, Councilor.
disease. It
Additional
looks
comments or
yellow
questions
for
from
some
the
reason.
Deputy Mayor? Anyone in the audience care to speak to proposal number 12? Seeing none, the chair will entertain a motion. Councilor? Motion been properly moved and seconded. General Counsel, can we do a roll call?
And by the way, I was looking up the numbers too. So, we and IMPD detectives determined homicide number there was involved in 216 killings list in 2023. It is down from 226 in 2022. So we've had 10 less homicides from year to year. And just to let you know, to give that some context, before Hogsett became mayor in 2016, we were below 150, I think. I think even back in like 2010 or 2012, we were under 100. And now we've kept going. We've always been to over 200 homicides for the past 4 years.
For all these votes? It has to be a roll call, or can we do a voice vote, or what?
You can do a voice vote.
Consent?
Yes. Or you can just do a voice vote.
Okay. Do
Some got a
roll call.
baby in
Roll
there?
call? Want the clerk to do the roll call?
She does not have to. You could just do a voice.
I'm just muting this. They're going to approve all of it. Who gives a shit? But here's another interesting thought someone brought up. Indianapolis has not had a single year of homicide rates below where they were in 2018 since Ryan Mears took over in 2019. Since 2018, since Mears came in 2019. So things have always gotten worse under Mears.
9 on the Indianapolis East Side. I am here tonight.
Welcome. Thank you.
Oh, wait, was that? Hold on.
Where are we? Consent? We got
2055 won't.
She does not have to. You could just do a voice.
Okay, hold on.
with consent. Councilor Graves?
Can I make it the record that I'm here, so I'll be on the consent body?
Yeah, I think we know that you're here.
The people who listen to this in 2055 won't.
Listen to
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everybody. My name is Keith Graves, District 9 on the Indianapolis East Side. I am here tonight.
Welcome. Thank you. Where are we? Consent? We got a consent? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Sorry for the confusion up here.
Or you could just be on time. There's a thought.
Number 13, 2024, approves the mayor's appointment of Martine.
At least
Romy
Mallory's
Bernard
on
Tucker
time.
As the Director of the Office of Public Health and Safety. Ms. Bernard Tucker, you want to come forward, please? You're welcome to have a seat and or stand at the podium if you wish.
I always prefer standing.
Okay.
So if it's okay.
Sounds good. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you,
Just a
Mr.
brief
Chair.
overview of yourself, your profession, and why this commission reappoint you to this position.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. My name is Martine Romy Bernard Tucker. Last year, I served as the director of the Office of Public Health and Safety. Before that, I was a public defender for 10 and a half years, so from May 2012 to December of 2022. And so for those who may not know about OPHS, I would say my first big accomplishment as OPHS director was to not destroy it.
That's a shame.
Because I had some huge shoes to fill. Deputy Mayor Rodriguez
Another diversity
was the director
hire.
before me, and she certainly expanded
Great.
OPHS and the mayor's vision for the agency, so she did a lot of work doing that. So that was my first big accomplishment, to just at least keep it afloat for 2023. We have 5 divisions. We have the Behavioral Health Division, the Community Violence Reduction Team, the Community Nutrition Food Division, the Homelessness and Eviction Prevention Division, and Reentry. And so we've had some significant accomplishments throughout all these divisions. Of course, we've already talked about the
Sounds like a bunch of wasted
clinician-led
taxpayer
team
money.
that will be expanding. So we're already 24/7 downtown, and we'll be expanding through to the East District, phasing into the East District at the end of the month, in early February. And so that's a big accomplishment for us. For our community violence reduction team, one of the things that I was able to accomplish was revamping our summer program. We had Safe Summer before, which was basically creating a space where people could go for a couple hours playing basketball. We've revamped it to make it a more well-rounded assistance to individuals. And so with that, what we were able to do is offer classes to people. We had barbershop training, we had art training, cooking classes, e-gaming classes, and
E-gaming.
physical fitness. So something for the mind, for the body, just to have a well-rounded individual. And we serve people, children, as young as 8 years old. They were able to participate in those classes, and we made sure that, they were fed during those programs. and
Why are
also
we doing
had
this, though?
transportation to get to those programs so they could reap the benefits. So that's
That doesn't make any sense at all. So your taxpayer money is going to make sure that, like, kids have some kind of after, like, the summer program or something? Like, there are institutions that already have this. There's no reason why taxpayers should be funding this. Hey, by the way, you know those potholes that are all around Indianapolis? Sorry, they can't be fixed because we need to make sure that we keep kids busy during the summer.
That's one of the things under my leadership that OPHS
So
did.
dumb.
For the reentry division, we were able to assist over 5,500 reentrants through our release lobby. And so we provided services like housing and employment, mental health, substance use disorder help, and driver's license assistance. We've also, with food, have helped over 8,000 different families, residents in Marion County, and we're able to distribute over almost 350,000 pounds of food. And of course, we have our homelessness and eviction team that helps people facing eviction, so helps with connecting them with navigators and lawyers who can help them keep their homes. So that is a pretty big deal. So that is what we've been able to accomplish in 2023. We have some big plans for 2024. If you would approve my my appointment, we have been able to, well, in 2024, what we'll be doing is focusing a lot on the prevention piece without sacrificing the intervention piece. To that effect, we have hired our Assistant Director of Social Determinants of Health.
Wait, what? Social determinants of health? What the fuck is that? Hold on. Let me give me 1 second here. Social social determinants of health. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Determinants of health. Okay, let's just do a quick Wikipedia. Okay, so the social determinants of health are the economic and social conditions that influence individual and group differences in health status. They are the health promoting factors found in one's living and working conditions, such as distribution of income, wealth, influence. Rather, what is this DEI bullshit? Oh, here's why. The World Health Organization says that the social determinants can be more important than healthcare or lifestyle choices in influencing health. So, hey, you're fat. It's because you don't live in a home. Oh, that's why? That's why I do crack? Oh my God, that's why I keep pounding down Doritos and Red Bull every day? It's because because of my social economic client. This is just another thing of victimhood. Oh, don't you worry. Hey, it's not your fault. It's this is gonna turn into some kind of white thing. I already. Oh my God, this is the worst.
That is someone who's going to make sure that all 5 divisions have that prevention piece. So in addition to
Oh, you're fat? Blame white people.
all the intervention programs that we're doing, we're going to have the prevention piece. So for example, with homelessness and eviction prevention, so we have eviction programs. Maybe it's worth also looking into rental assistance for people or into financial literacy, whatever problem that might be causing them to face the eviction, trying to help them in addition to that intervention piece. And so that is something that actually thanks to this council, that was a position that was approved by the council to have, so that social determinants of health person. We're also going to be focusing even more on the youth piece with our chief violence prevention officer. We're in the process of creating that position and also hiring someone, and therefore
Oh, great. More tax money being spent for no reason. That's what she's saying right now.
we're going to have specifically in our violence reduction team, we're going to have someone specifically dealing with youth and youth programs. And
Because they don't have a two-parent household, that's why.
finally, again, we have more stuff coming up, but the things
They have more tax money to spend.
that I'm super excited about, certainly,
She's excited to spend your tax money. I know, I keep pausing this.
we have the mental health cultural equity grant that we're going
Wait, what? Hold on. Did I just hear that right? Did I just hear that right?
we have the mental health cultural equity.
Mental health cultural equity. Mental health cultural equity. Mental health cultural equity. What the hell? Diversity, inclusion, and psychiatry. Prioritizing minority mental health. Oh, I see what's going on. Cultural, cultural diversity and mental health. Oh my God, this is what your taxpayers, this is what your tax money is going to. There's even a NIH article back from 2018 about it. Culture is broad in Burke's term, culture and self. So basically, it's teaching cultural people that you can't eat garbage, or no, the mental health problem. And yeah, I don't.
Grant that we're
Ugh.
going to be distributing to organizations to help train peer specialists and peer support so that we can get that additional culturally appropriate mental health services. So these are things for the 2024,
Oh my
again, that
God.
focus
All right, I
on
gotta
the
email them
prevention
all.
piece without sacrificing, like I said, the intervention that we're already doing really well. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much for your presentation and for your work over the last year or so with the office of the mayor.
I will be emailing
Graves, comments or
OPH about this.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Well, congratulations on the being here tonight to be reappointed. I definitely am in support of the work you're doing and your whole team under the leadership of Deputy Mayor Rodriguez. You guys are just doing really well, particularly some of the violent property crimes that happen on the east side. We've seen those numbers reduced. But I must say, we still find a challenge where evictions are concerned. You talked about doing
Pay your
a few
bills.
things. Can you talk a little bit more about numbers, baseline, where we are, where we're trying to be, where we were last year? Can we start to really make that a new focus? Because when we made the effort to bring in outside ideas like with David Muhammad and some of the things that we brought in, we saw some reduction in our numbers in crime. What are we going to do?
Accountability?
Where evictions are concerned?
Sure. So one of
Maybe?
the things that we're doing in 2024 is adding more attorneys and more navigators to those
My
programs.
God.
So we have the TAP program, and so making sure that there are more people available to help people that are facing evictions. There have been some awareness. I don't want to call it an awareness campaign, but certainly more literature given to the small claims court to make sure that people know that the TAP navigators and the lawyers exist at no cost to them.
Only cost to the taxpayers. That's why.
But I think the prevention part of it is necessary, and that's why I say it's by the time the person comes to the eviction courtroom, I mean, it's good for them to have the lawyer, but can we find ways where the person does not need to get to that courtroom, does not have to get to the point where the landlord is trying to evict them. And so thinking about those programs, again, with the assistance
Pay your
of
bills, baby?
our, division leader for homelessness and eviction prevention, but also the assistant director of social determinants of health. Their job is specifically to answer that specific question that you're asking.
So what she's saying is, I don't understand why people keep getting evicted. It's got to be because they just don't understand the culture. What she's saying is non-white people don't know how to pay their bills, and we have to have lawyers, we have to have psychiatrists, we have to have cultural enrichers to explain to these people that you need to pay your bills so you do not get evicted.
Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Graves?
Thank you. Just a thought, as we look at some of the service providers for assistance across the county, maybe that is like a red light or a red flag indicator that there are other problems, because you're right, prevention is the key. What are we doing any collaborations with assistance providers to say, hey, utilities today, and it could be rent next month. So how are we identifying to be in a prevention stage?
So we're certainly having conversations with trustees about, because they're at that level where they might have more direct contact with people that need help and that are asking for their assistance. So in having those conversations, that's another way for us to actually determine what people really need. And again, we have a team working specifically on those. It is hard to say that these are all the things that we're gonna do, because we still have to see what the demand, what the need is. But for sure, financial literacy, like how to deal with money, and even for children that are seeing their parents being evicted. So can we stop that cycle for those children? So can they know how to find a job? Can they know how to balance a checkbook, or what a checkbook is? I don't know if people still use those, but right. So
do you know how to be an adult?
Financial literacy has to be a part of it. Rental assistance has to be a part of it, because if you can keep your home even for a month, that still gives you more option. So if it's a matter of finding a cheaper option, or finding a new job, or someone, and I know that Mr. Merkley had talked about that last year, someone who was going through the death of their child and was not able to work. Do you need time to grieve? Do you need time to just breathe and know that, hey, I don't need to worry about the money for the rent this month. I just need a breather. So
this is exactly how we're going to get to communism, you dumb fucks. Oh, I'm having a bad day, and I'm not saying the kid thing, I understand it, but, where's the line at? Do we just put the bar so low? It's like, I'm having a bad day, I've been having a bad month, I need someone to pay my apartment or my utility bills so I can just have a breather. I just need a vacation. I just need to have me time. Where does that stop? You have to be an adult. And who's paying for these programs? People like me, people like you, my 13 subscribers. I love my Baker's Dozen subscribers, don't get me wrong. And everybody else who is responsible is paying for this garbage. It doesn't make any sense. We are here because of weaponized empathy. We have these people that keep playing the victim card. It's like, I'm just having a rough time right now. Can you help me out? And then someone just pays their bills, pays their rent, pays whatever, and then it never stops, and they get comfortable for it. And then you have these assholes that are thinking to themselves, if we just paid their bills, we won't have any mental health problems. Oh, where are we going to get the money from then, dipshit? Because people have to work.
Understanding those needs, it's not going to be the same for everyone who's going to come through those
Like
doors,
I
but
said.
understanding what the needs are and what we can offer. Obviously, I'd love to have enough money to say we're just going to pay everyone's rent forever.
Oh, I just want to have communism.
But that's not realistic.
At least
But
she gets it.
if I can pay your rent for a month and then help you
It
take
doesn't
some
stop.
financial
It
literacy
doesn't
classes,
stop.
or help you get in touch with a mental health provider that can help you through your issues, I mean,
Oh my
that
God.
might be the thing that really prevents you from getting
Just start
evicted.
the war already.
Last question. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You've been so gracious this evening. I want to just make sure that you and your team regarding eviction and homelessness know that myself, and I'm sure I can speak for my colleagues here, we're available because that is truly a hot button. If you need to identify areas where there may be higher incidences of evictions, I would love to take a look at a map across the city. Whatever we can do as a body here, we want to be a resource because that is a challenge, and it is creating a lot of residual issues within our community. So just continue the good work that you're doing and let us know how we can be a part of that solution. Good job on some of the other things that you guys have, such a broad amount of work that you do, but I would love to talk a little bit more about how we can get in front of some of the challenges where eviction is concerned. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Council.
You know, the other thing that he pointed out was OPHS is and their stupid divisions are basically playing middleman and like an extra resource to give people money. The trustee's office is in charge of that. There's plenty. That's part of their job. And I'll give you a perfect example. Like I've been to many of these township meetings, or Wayne Township anyway, and the trustee talks about like this person had a situation and we were able to pay their gas bill or their electric bill, and these people were actually like messed up. Like the I think they both had Down syndrome or something, and they couldn't pay their bills. They were like basically living in their own filth, and they're trying to help them out a little bit. And but like community members, church members, family, if you got it, like those people are there to help, and the government should not be helping you because this is just another. And by the way, this is just another way of buying votes because that person's going to tell that person, and then they're going to. It's like, well, that person was able to get money. Maybe I can get money. Maybe I don't actually have to work. Maybe I can just sit in front of the TV, play a little Fortnite, and eat some garbage.
Councilor, additional comments. Councilor Boots.
Thank you, you most gracious chairman. Director Bernard Tucker, I appreciate everything you've done in the direction and everything's trending positively, and I think that's a great sign, and a lot of that I attribute to you and Deputy Mayor Rodriguez as well. I just want to piggyback briefly on Councilor Graves' comments because I too am one that sees home stability as one of the driving factors in many of the ills and ailments of our city can be directed back to
Yes, who promotes that?
unstable housing.
Yes.
And eviction assistance, maybe it's just me, but at times I'm confused because I hear a lot of Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic, Indiana Legal Services. They all have eviction programs. They all have attorneys assigned to these programs. Is there, and I'm just afraid of duplicating and rendering inefficient services where if there was a little more higher up coordination among some of these, so it would be less taxpayer money when we have these other nonprofit, we have voluntary attorneys. The Bar Association has an eviction service that many lawyers I know sign up for. So is there an overriding supervision of all these players?
What I just say? What did I just say?
Our eviction prevention program, that is with those partnerships. So with Neighborhood Legal Christian Clinic and the in ILS. So obviously at OPHS, we don't provide direct services. So we do need to have those community partners to help us provide those lawyers and those navigators. So it is done
You think
with the
they're working
partnership
for
of
free, but
these,
they're not.
other entities. And so certainly
I can
trying
tell you
to
why.
make sure, like you said, that we don't duplicate. We're not just, pouring a ton of money into just one problem. But certainly that work is being done in partnership with those organizations.
So your agency then is the quarterback directing this coordinated effort?
Yes, we provide the money that you allow us to have.
Yes.
Thanks for your money. We're going to give it to people who probably don't need it.
Councilor Perkins, you have a comment or question?
Yeah, just a brief comment. I just want to echo what my colleagues have shared.
That's actually kind of fucked up thing to say. Like, oh, we're just going to give the money that you allow us to spend. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Oh, we need more money, so we need you to prove more money.
Thank you for the work that you're doing and the deputy mayor. This is hard work, but this is why our community elect us and expect us to lead. And so we applaud the work. I'm glad to hear about the focus on prevention for 2024. There's so many individuals that are dependent on us getting it right. And so thank you for what you bring to the work, what you have done over the last year, and I look forward to what 2024 will bring. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else, comments or questions? Anyone in the audience care to speak to this proposal?
Oh, no one gives a
Seeing
shit.
none, chair to entertain a motion. Motion been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Thank you so much. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Up next is the proposal number 14, 2024.
What is going on over here?
Appointment of Richard O'Kello.
Oh!
As Director
Oh!
of the Citizens Police Complaint Office.
Oh, so
Mr.
those
O'Kello,
two are
welcome.
fucking.
The two prior appointments have some experience in those roles.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
First time.
Shit.
So talk to us. Let us know who you are.
Another diversity hire.
Why we support
Fantastic.
this appointment and what you plan to do to make this office great.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for being here.
And to the members of this esteemed committee for the opportunity to speak to you today. My name is Richard O'Kello. A little bit of background on myself. I started my career in higher education administration at Purdue University after completing my undergraduate and graduate studies at Youngstown State University and Rutgers University. During my time there, my work focused on creating safe and inclusive communities where everyone felt respected, where everyone felt heard. I also emphasized the importance of serving others. A desire to widen my own circle of concern led me to enroll in law school at IU McKinney School of Law with the purpose of serving others in a different capacity upon graduation. And so in 2021, I began my career in city government when I was hired to serve as the first investigator for the Citizens Police Complaint Office. In that role, I saw the importance of ensuring that legitimate concerns are addressed and heard fairly and impartially. And as director of the office, I would remain committed to that same mission. In terms of key priorities for 2024, they would include addressing our staffing vacancies. We currently are looking for an intake specialist. This person would serve as the first point of contact for the office. The investigator role was filled in July by Tadanye Kofer, someone who brings extensive local government and criminal justice experience to the office. Our second priority would be to continue to provide relevant training opportunities for members of the complaint board, whom you know also have training requirements that they are required to fulfill. Eventually, I think we'd like to get to a place where we can create a multi-year plan where we include core trainings for the board members, where they will receive and then on top of that, there would be specific types of trainings that would rotate on a yearly basis.
Why?
And then lastly, we just really want to increase our community presence. There are currently 6 IMPD districts. We currently have done most of our engagement in the downtown district. So our hope is to do at least one event, one engagement in each of those districts in the coming year. Exposing residents to the office, the board, the complaint process, while also providing some education on how to navigate encounters with members of law enforcement. And I hope to accomplish this by partnering with members of the police department, neighborhood groups and associations, and civic organizations.
Thank you so much for your willingness to serve in this capacity with this agency. Comments or questions from councilors? Councilor Carlino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you so much for your service as a prior investigator and then your willingness to step up as director. My comment, Mr. Chairman, is actually speaks to your multi-year plan. I think the best multi-year planner in this entire enterprise is sitting in this room, and that's Chief Ernie Malone. So you may take a page out of his book in terms of multi-year planning. But that is the only comment I have, with the exception of good luck to you, and please keep us informed and list us as one of those partners that you collaborate with. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor. Additional comments or questions? Anyone? Councilor Graves.
Hey, congratulations. Appreciate you and the work you've done. With the workforce issue that you have in the office, are we finding any strain on citizens being able to access you guys?
Not at the moment. There's always either the investigators in the office or I'm in the office. And so, even if we are going to work virtually, one of us is going to work virtually, we just make sure somebody's in the office for the most part at all times, unless we're doing some sort of professional development training.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else? Comments or questions? Councilor Perkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Had the chance to sit down and talk with Mr. Kelo. Thank you for the willingness to share vision for this department. As a part of our conversation, we talk about engaging the community so the community knows about the office, what you do. And so I look forward to working with you to be able to do that over the next 24 months. And congratulations again.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else on this appointment? Anyone in the audience care to speak to proposal number 14? The chair will entertain a motion. So moved. Motion properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Up next, proposal 15, 2024, approves the mayor's appointment of Ernest V. Malone as the chief of the Indianapolis Fire Department. Chief Malone.
Oh, before that, though.
You got some kudos.
So check this. I don't know. Can I bring it up? Let me try this. Let me try it. Can I do it? Oh, can I do it? Hey, look at that. Sweet, it worked. New mental health clinic aims to support Black residents. So what I was saying before is correct. This is just another anti-white program for non-white people. And that's exactly what they're doing. And your tax-paying money is going to it. What a shocker, huh?
Already from one of our colleagues up here, Chief. You did kind of lay out that fire a few years ago. You laid that out, man, a few years ago. You really did.
I appreciate that.
Your vision for the department, so that's good stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Councilor Carlino, thank you very much appreciated. I want to thank you all for being here and for the opportunity to seek reappointment to this very important position that I never take lightly. Just while we're here, I want to just take a minute to introduce some of the folks that help us be successful. There are many others, but this is a key group that we like to expose to the council process and let them see how this works. We have Assistant Chief of Department Mike White is here. Our Director of Media Relations, Chief Rita Wright, is here. Deputy Chief of Community Risk Reduction, Matt Hintz, and our Fire Marshal, Mike Beard, is here. And I would certainly be remiss if I didn't thank our partners in labor. I'm so grateful for the partnership that we have. I remind you all the time as I travel the country, it is not like that every place. So we're very fortunate in this community. From Indianapolis Professional Firefighters, Local 416, we have President Hank Harris and Vice President Shannon Whiteley. So I appreciate them today and every day and thank them for their support. Also always like to ask you to pause and recognize the 294 firefighters that are on duty working, protecting us while we're here. I can't say enough good things about the people I get to work with. It's truly a privilege. So, with that, just a couple of updates, Mr. Chairman, if you're good with that. We are a planning department with the mayor's office, this council, OFM, We were able to complete our 10-year apparatus plan, as I reminded you, during budget time, and we did it in a little over 8.5 years. But we're not done. We are actively creating, in the next 60 to 90 days, we'll have a new 2024 to 2034 apparatus plan to guide this organization. We are updating our 20-year station replacement plan. Councilor Graves, I have you down, so you're in there. We'll get you done, I promise you, as we work through this list. It's not easy. They're not an inexpensive undertaking, but we're keeping them 60, 70, 80. Station 32 in Broad Ripple's over 100 years. It's my hope that we don't keep any of them that long before we replace them, but it is an investment for multiple decades. Another thing I'm proud of, and again I want to thank the Mayor's office and this council, we've spoken to you many times about the importance of our health and wellness programs. Well, we were successful in getting an additional $350,000 in our budget for this year for behavioral health. We want to continue to move the bar. It was another wonderful labor management partnership. The union is fully engaged in these initiatives. So behavioral health, you know, our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being for our members are just so important to us. So we're successful in getting that budget allocation and intend to invest it into our firefighters. Just a couple more things. We also were successful in getting funding for some new software. I've talked to some of you about it. We do intend to meet individually with each of you. This software will allow us to, I wanted it specifically set up so we could garner data per council district. So when you want to know what type of runs, when are they happening, what responses were allocated to an event, we will be able to zero in on your council district, the corner, the address that things are happening at. So if there's a difficult area, or everything doesn't have to be gloom and doom, it could be a very positive area of things that are happening in your district. So we plan to launch that very soon, and we
Why don't you have that now, though?
On a district by district basis on how we can continue to do what's right by our citizens in this community. And then lastly, we're seeking, this is a busy year for us. We're working on a new 5-year strategic plan that will run 2025 through 2029. We are up for reaccreditation in the first quarter of 2029. You know, it's about a 4.5-year process to get there, and your accreditation is good for 5 years. I'll always take a moment to brag about, again, you know, there's over 30,000 fire departments in our country. As of last week, of those 30,000, only 119 were internationally accredited and ISO rating of 1. That means 99.96% of communities in our country are not protected by a fire department that meets that standard, and ours is.
You know, it's funny. It took them a very, very long time to get that. Very long time. Pike Township had it before they did.
I'm super proud of our organization and that accomplishment. It took many people to get there, and we're going to keep working at it. So, Mr. Chairman, with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you, man. As you know, councils. Questions? Councilor Mowry. Leader Mowry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Not a question, just a statement. Chief, I want to thank you for being here this evening, and the rest of your staff for being here this evening. Thank you and the men and women of IFD for keeping us safe in the city, and the ones on duty that, you know, are out there right now doing that job. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for your vision for this department, and really looking down the line rather than just what's in front of you, really having a vision for where you want to be. Thank you.
Thank you,
Leader
Councilor.
Mowry. Comments or questions? Councilor Perkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chief, thank you for the work. Have had the opportunity to work closely with the fire department in Pike, and so we know the hard work of firefighters, and I do honor the work that you do. Chief, I do have a question on your position of the current merger. proposed merger between the 3 townships and IFD. Where do you stand on that?
My position is that starts as a political process. It'll start with the various boards. If you're talking about Senate Bill 54, I navigate politics, but I'm not political. I'm a fire chief, so my stance as a fire chief, I did have an opportunity to speak on this subject earlier today.
I watched it.
I think there's deficiencies there. Those are my colleagues. Those are my friends, the chief of the other departments. We work very well in this community with very robust mutual and automatic aid agreements. I think it has some very positive aspects to it, and overall believe it would be a good thing for this community. But we'll let the official process work its way through,
It's
and then
killed.
when it's time to
As far as I know, it's
plan
killed.
and navigate and employ those people in protecting this community, we'll be ready to do that.
Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Chief, for your honesty. It is a political process. As I said, I've worked closely with the Pike Fire Department over the last 5 years and find them to be A1 in what they do. I think we do a very, very good job in Pike managing our fire department. And so I know the work that you do, and I know your intentional efforts in collaborating, and I do appreciate that. But we just want to be clear on the Pike front that we are very pleased with our fire department in Pike. Thank you.
So SB 54 is a bill that was introduced, I don't know, like a week or so ago, but it was written by unions. And what the bill is about is consolidating the fire departments, but where the township trustee couldn't have a voice in it. So right now, Wayne Township is going through that right now. I want to do a video on it, but it's got so many layers to it. So basically, it would take the trustee out of the equation, and it would give the power to the mayor and the city council to just say, hey, I want you. So there's only 3 townships that actually have their own fire department right now. It's Pike, it's Wayne, it's Decatur. Wayne might merge, pretty good chance of it, but Pike and Decatur are not in any kind of debt, whereas Wayne is, where it would make more sense for them to get merged. Carlos Perkins is part of the Pike Township, and I think he was on the advisory board, but I also think his wife is on the advisory board. If not, she's running to be on the advisory board. So that's why he was saying, like, Pike is good, because Pike and Decatur do not want to be consolidated with IFD. They're fine right now, and their tax rate is not much more than what IFD is, and they're in control. And that's what he's saying right now. Is like, we want to be in control of our own fire department. I was kind of laughing about that's very funny though that he brought that up.
It's a very good fire department as IFD.
Thank you, Councilman. And we understand Chief doesn't want to weigh in and appear to be putting his finger on the scale, because folks would definitely use that in their arguments. Well, the fire chief said this, so we want to be sure that you stay clear.
That's right.
So
yeah, Carlos is laughing about it. He knows.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chief, I just want to say thank you, first of all, for the reminder, a quick acknowledgement that District 9 would love to get Station 24 refitted so we can be able to have some of the apparatuses, particularly because of some of the growth, the tremendous amount of growth that we have in our community. A beautiful new health facility with Eskenazi, great, other things that are happening in our community are just growing. And so I think that as we take a look at 24 today, I would love for us to have that apparatus that can make sure we're ready for everything. But really what I wanted to say, Mr. Chairman, is when we think about things to celebrate in this city of Indianapolis, I really believe that our fire department, and led by you, Chief, should be out there, out front. Even as we begin the celebration of the All-Star Weekend, you are something that we should really be proud of. You and your team, men and women in uniform, you guys are just amazing. Thank you for making us proud. I would love to see that team out front. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a quick comment. I don't know if I've ever shared with you, Counselor, but I grew up in the area of Station 24. It is time for it to be replaced. I can remember my friends and I riding our bikes to the back of Station 24, and they had a Coke machine there, and we used to stop there, on our bikes, get something to drink, and then continue on our way. So that was a minute ago, so it's been there a while, so we're going to work to get it replaced for you.
Thank you for sharing that, Chief. I've been trying to collect some of our success stories from the East Side, and that is absolutely going into my list. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Chief. Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Boots.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks for everything that you do, Chief Malone. Just my annual question. We keep in a ladder truck up on the north side to protect our people along Keystone Crossing and there where some of our high-rise office buildings are.
Sure. There's no plans to decrease our deployment model up there. We have Ladder 6 at the Westfield Boulevard next to North Central High School. Ladder 4 is there. 86th and Ditch area. Ladder 36 runs out of Lawrence Station that we dual staff. We have Ladder 9 right there at Castleton Mall. So we are pretty saturated and feel that we have more than adequate coverage. And certainly we have other ladder companies south of there that can get there within a reasonable amount of time. So it's covered well with our ladder companies on Northeast side.
Well, thank you. In the event there's ever a change in that deployment program, I think a few of the councilors on the north side would appreciate a heads up.
Yeah, we wouldn't make that change without talking to you about it.
I don't think you're not legally allowed to either.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Councilor. Additional comments or questions? Anyone in the audience care to speak to the Chief's proposal? Welcome. Welcome.
Hank Harris, President of the Indianapolis Firefighters, Local 416. We represent the firefighters of the Indianapolis Fire Department. Here to support the reappointment of Chief Malone. I'll be brief. I say this every year. We have the best chief in the country. I travel
This is
around
the
country,
guy who's pushing this
always
this
willing to help
consolidation
out. We
too.
recently, the city of Gary, I was just up in Gary. We have a new chief up there. And Chief Malone wanted to reach out to him, congratulate him, and also offer his assistance if he had any issues up there. As working as a new fire chief is stressful, but I want to thank Chief Malone for taking the time to meet with our friend up there, Chief Larry Tillman from the city of Gary, a friend of mine. But he's always willing to lend a hand, help out other departments, help out other chiefs, and we're very fortunate. The members of IFD are very supportive and thankful to have him. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for your service to the union as well. Anyone else? The chair entertaining motion on proposal 15. Motion been probably moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Councilors.
See you at the full council. Up next, proposal 16, 2024, reappoints Louis Profeta to the Indianapolis Marion County Forensic Services Board. Mr. Profeta, welcome.
Hello.
Hello there. You've been at this for a few years now.
Oh, man.
And I would encourage our colleagues on the council to please visit the Forensic Services office.
Civilians are not allowed to go.
But it's a sight to see and a great experience. So, especially the new councilors, please go over and visit his office over there. I'm sure you'll be welcome. Mr. Profeta, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know what you want to hear from me, but
well, we have a few new people on the committee.
Okay, let me
just a few things about yourself, the organization, any goals you have for 2024.
Well, my name is Louis Profeta. I'm an emergency and trauma physician at St. Vincent's Hospital. In fact, I think I'm now the oldest practicing emergency physician in the city of Indianapolis. I think I've probably cared for more fellow Hoosiers now, fellow citizens of the city than any other physicians, going on 3.5 decades. I'm a best-selling author. I travel the country speaking on college campuses about the opioid epidemic and drugs and alcohol and sexual assault issues on college campuses especially, and this is something that I have sort of felt strongly about for years. St. Vincent's Hospital was one of the very first hospitals in the state to implement the SANE program, which was the Sexual Assault Nurse Examiner program, because so much of the sexual assault cases actually come through our emergency department. Evidence collection is extremely important. Maintaining a chain of custody and providing these people social services and counseling and health care after being involved in those horrific acts is important. And I've always felt it was important to serve and to be able to help with the Forensic Services Board and sort of bring a sense of what we see in our emergency departments, because let's face it, every mistake made here manifests itself in our ER. If you want to know how you are doing as a council, come and spend a day with me and I'll show you.
That means they're doing a really
homelessness,
bad
from
job.
Health issues, from drug and alcohol, from the opioid epidemic, from gang violence, to automobile accidents, from all those issues. How we care for our elderly, how we care for people that are non-English speaking in this community. Spend a day with me, and you'll be able to see some of that
Fuck,
manifest itself.
just kidding. I'm just
being able to
kidding.
bring that expertise to the crime lab and being able
My
to
intrusive thoughts
meet
was-
people that are
just
involved
kidding.
in public safety has been an incredibly rewarding part of my career, and I've been blessed to do it, and thank you for entrusting me in that.
Luis Perfetta.
Councilor Carlino.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for your continued service. I think the perspective that you bring and really the years of experience are, insurmountable. I also want to comment on your perfect attendance as well. You are.
I want
a
those sheets.
reappointment
Whatever
with
they're
perfect
reading,
attendance,
I
and
want
that's very
that.
valuable.
How do
So
I
we
get
know
that?
Your time traveling the country and doing everything that
We
you
should
do,
be allowed
not
to
only
see
in
all
the
this
ER, but
crap.
outside is important, but you've also prioritized this board. And for
Shut
that,
up,
we're
Carlino.
grateful. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Carlino. Comments or questions? Anyone in the audience care to speak to proposal number 16?
No one gives a
Seeing
shit.
none, the chair will entertain a motion. Motion been properly moved and seconded on proposal 16. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And if any of you, really, if you'd like to come and spend a day with me, I'd welcome it. Okay, just reach
Couple
out to me
hours
and,
at least,
we'd love to
right?
have you.
I'll be back.
I want to see the nasty. That's what I want to see.
Proposal number 17, ladies and
Are you
gentlemen.
cutting people
reappoint
open? Is
Terry
that what you're
West
doing
to
on
the Board of Public Health and
forensics?
Safety. He is not present today, so with consent, I'd like to postpone 17. Thank you so much. Note that in the record, for proposal 17 will be postponed to the next meeting of the Criminal Justice Committee. Proposal number 18, 2024, reappoints Curtis Bigsby to the Emergency Services Agency Board. Mr. Bigsby.
Good evening, Council.
Just so the committee members know, we have 2 reappointments and and 3 appointments. All the resumes are in our packet. So look at the resumes of our colleagues and their packets. We have the resumes.
Why can't
of
we
these
see them?
5 individuals.
Why are we
2
not allowed to
reappointments
see
and 3
them?
appointments. Mr. Bixby.
Yes, sir. Chairman Robinson, thank you so much for the consideration for reappointment. I am Curtis Bixby, Chief of Police over in the City of Lawrence. So I represent the excluded cities, just reappointed by Mayor Deb Whitfield. I'm honored for the reconsideration. I believe I've only missed maybe 1 meeting, and that was due to a vacation that I wasn't able to be at the meeting. But it's a great team to be with MESA, collaboration between excluded cities and the MESA board and their commitment to public safety. So I appreciate this time. If you have any questions for me, more than
Thank you
happy
so
to
much.
answer
We
those.
appreciate you, your service in Lawrence as well, to your new mayor as well. We appreciate you for helping her out as well. Comments or questions, Mr. Bixby? Councilor Colino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a comment, and it's sort of a homework assignment. Some of my colleagues know I used to be a teacher, so I sometimes dole these out at committee meetings. But Mr.
I don't know about that. Were you? Hold on. Yeah. I know I'm pausing it. I know I'm taking a little bit longer. Hold on. Let me cook. Hold on. Let's see here. All right, hold on. Can I bring it? Can I bring it over here? Whoop. Hear me? Okay. All right, what do we got here? We got medias, bro. Oh, okay. So wait, 14. Okay, so she was a teacher in Wayne Township and 14 and a teacher in Irvington. Hold on. So 1372 in Irvington. She didn't do much shit there. Hey, can't I go back? Crap. I think I just saved it, right? Yeah, I did just save it. do this again. And then she moved to Wayne Township for 16. So she was probably there for what, maybe a half a year, a half of whatever it might have been. And then, see, this is what I thought. Yeah, she was a librarian, a media specialist. She was a librarian. Hey, librarian. How much did she make? My computer would work. I don't know. I'll put it on the other screen. Or keep going though.
Mr. Bigsby, I would like for you in your role as you go through this year to think specifically about how we are
45,000.
deploying the clinician-led mental health crisis response and what suicide prevention looks like over the phone on those calls, because we know those minutes between response showing up on site and being on the phone are very critical. I've been made aware that even very recently someone took their life while on the phone with our 911 dispatch. And I think training is lacking in that area specifically, and would love to make sure as we move through this year and as we take a look at deploying, deploying that next round of clinician-led response to the East District, that we're also taking a
Where's your ring at, Carlino?
look countywide at how we're doing emergency response
Does Chucky
specifically
know?
for individuals
Does
contemplating
Indigo
suicide.
Chucky know?
Thank you so much. And that would be one of the priorities that we will be speaking with PSC as it relates, especially to 911 communications. I do know just recently we had approved a new language line for the 911 communication center. That will be one thing that I will bring up at our next board meeting.
Language line? Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Bigsby. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor. Comments or questions, Mr.
Spanish.
Bixby? Anyone in the audience care to speak to this proposal? Seeing none, Chair, entertain a motion.
Carlino made 70 the very last year
Motion
that she
properly
worked as a
seconded.
librarian.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
All right,
And
thanks
good
so
luck.
much. Thank you.
Up next is a appointment for the first time. Proposal 37 appoints Colin Flora to the Marion County Public Defender Board. Mr. Flora, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
This is your first time with an appointment to a committee, from this committee, and we appreciate your willingness to serve. Just give us a few brief highlights about you and your profession, why you want to be on this board.
Certainly. And again, thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to the committee. I am an attorney in Indianapolis. I've been here since I started law school in 2008 at the then IU Indy. It became IU McKinney the following year. I am now in my 13th year of practice. I believe the reason I've been tabbed for this board is because I believe I'm a humble man, but I have to say that I am viewed as a leader within the Marion County legal community. I just finished a 2-year term on the Indiana State Bar Association's Board of Governors representing the Marion County attorneys. I believe I've also been tabbed because I've developed a reputation as being a consensus builder. If you see in your packets, the people I have identified as my references, I think, fairly reflect my attempts to constantly reach out to all interested parties to always try to build a coalition or come to a consensus. If you see in the package, you'll see.
No, it's handshakes and hand jobs is what he's saying.
I have and Mr. May, someone who served under Mayor Ballard, and Mr. Moriarty, someone who served under Mayor Hoggs.
Moriarty, that's Breanne Delaney's husband.
And Colleen Fanning, someone who served on this council. I have always strived to get all parties interested in whatever is trying to be accomplished on the same page. And when we're dealing with the Public Defender Agency, I think the same message needs to constantly be pushed through, because we've got competing interests. We've got the taxpayers' interest in making sure that their funds are put to the best use, and we have the constitutional interest in making sure that persons who are accused of crimes receive the best representation possible. And frankly, from what I've seen, Marion County has probably the best public defender agency within the state. It has a great reputation.
Yeah, because they're making plea deals all the time. That's why we have so much crime. All the fucking scumbags are not going to jail. They're going back on the street.
And I want to do what I can to make sure that we continue that, particularly
of course.
Heading into this year where Bob Hill will finish 16 years as service as the
it's
chief
his
public
job
defender,
to try and
he will
make
be stepping
sure.
down. So If
that we
I am
get
appointed to the board,
scumbags
if I'm
back on the streets.
Then one of the very first things I will be tasked with doing is joining the rest of the board in selecting the next person to be public defender and to continue his successes and make even more on top of that. With that, Mr. Chair,
Thank you so much. Excited to hear more about you and look forward to you serving on this board. Councilor Carlino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Flora, for your willingness to serve. I actually am going to exercise a point of privilege for one of our new colleagues that is on this board, on this committee tonight, who is not here. She's ill, and that's Councilor Breanne Delaney.
What'd I just say?
Personally, thank you for your willingness. To
Handshakes
serve
and
as well,
hand
and
jobs.
gives you a sort of law school shout out, and knows that you are fit for the gig, and we look forward to hearing updates from you in the future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor. Comments or questions? Councilor Boots.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Procedural question. The advisory board to which you're proposed to be appointed nominates the new head of the agency. Does that vote then come back to us for approval?
I will confess my ignorance on that, but I would be very surprised that it does not.
Can you answer that, counsel?
It does.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Additional comments or questions? Anyone in the audience could speak to this proposal? Chair, entertain a motion. Motion been properly moved and seconded on proposal number 37. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much, sir. We'll see you in the full council. Up next, proposal 38, 2024, appoints Courtney Bond to the Citizen Police Complaint Board. Ms. Bond, welcome. Welcome. We do have your resume. Thank you for your willingness to serve on this board. You have the actual man in charge there right behind you, so gotta get his approval as well. So,
yeah, I
share
believe
something
so.
about yourself that we need to know and why you want to be on this board.
So I have degrees in political science and Africana studies.
Wait, what? Africa? Hold on. Wait. What did I just hear?
I have background in healthcare.
Charge there right behind you, so gotta get his approval as well.
So I have degrees in political science and Africana studies, a law degree from IU McKinney School of Law. I have background in healthcare, predominantly healthcare compliance, exceeding regulatory bodies for Medicaid and Medicare dual diagnosis individuals with mental health, aging, disabled, developmentally and physically disabled, of course. Working with those individuals, I've been able to ensure that they are well equipped and prepared for being integrated into society, how to interact with the police, attending their court hearings, bringing people back from Puerto Rico that are actually Indiana citizens.
Better be to be
that
tried.
have gotten into trouble over there, but I would like to be a part of this board because I love to ensure that we comply with what we say that we're going to do, and that outcomes are done in a fair and equitable way for not only officers involved, but also those citizens. Repairing and continuing to rebuild trust in the city is very important to me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your willingness to serve. Comments or questions, Ms. Bond? Anyone? Councilor Graves.
Thank you for your willingness to serve, and you hit it when you said, trust. So this is something that very important, and so in your background looks perfect for it. So I look forward to hearing more from you over the course of time. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else? Anyone in the audience could speak to this proposal? Seeing none, Chair will entertain the motion. Motion been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you so much. We'll see
you.
Full council. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is interesting
Our
of
last
how
proposal
many
for this evening is proposal 39 appoints Brett Thomas to the Citizen Police Complaint Board.
how many people are coming out of IU McKinney. Here, let me show you this.
Deal with this. You yourself and us as a society, we are evolving, right? I really hate, and I can't say this in more polite terms, the so-called originalists for the U.S. Constitution. I can't care less what the founding fathers thought 250 years ago when they wrote that Constitution. They were completely different people in a completely different world. They were actually probably slaveholders and racists and misogynists compared to what we know today, right? And who is going to tell us that we have to interpret our Constitution by what these people were thinking 250 years ago? That basically denies an entire country the idea that we can learn and get better. That is ludicrously stupid, in my opinion, right? Because what were women's rights? Did women vote back then? I don't think so, right? And they probably didn't have the right to own land or property. Or, I mean, the idea that this is relevant for constitutional interpretation is actually stupid to the point of pain, right? Painfulness. So please, right? Don't be one of those, right? Be smart and let's evolve together and become better at this, right? Taking care of each other and our natural resources, our kids.
That has nothing to do with what. Whatever. Anyway, IU McKinney School, folks. There you go, huh?
Mr. Thomas, welcome.
Put this in my notes, too.
Thank you for your willingness to serve. We do have your resume. Your first-time appointment to this board. Just share with us why you'd like to be appointed and a little bit about yourself.
Sure, a little bit about myself. Grew up on the south side of Indianapolis, went to Southern Illinois Law School. I was a public defender for 5 years right after law school, did personal injury defense. I do not recommend that. And now I am at Cohen & Millad. I do business in real estate law, both transactional and litigation. So that's my background. The reason I want to be a part of this committee is one, to serve my community. Two, I think my background as a public defender gave me a kind of a background, a behind-the-scenes look of what policing is and how it can really affect people's lives. Good policing and bad policing. I've seen both and about everything in between. And I think it's incredibly important for members of the community to have a platform where they can express their complaints and where they can feel heard, and when there are legitimate concerns,
there's a lawyer that's
those
on the
concerns are addressed by a body that is not partial to either side and can discuss those issues and take action to hopefully make change.
Citizens Police Complaint Board.
And
they would
build
never
trust in the
let
community,
someone like
because
me
they're
on there.
lacking, and obviously without trust, there become a lot more issues. It's kind of like dominoes, and so that is why I'm interested in serving on this board, and I welcome any questions you may have.
And thank you for your willingness to serve, and thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Sure. Comments or questions for Mr. Thomas? Anyone? One question. There we go. Councilor McCormick, welcome and thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for stepping up and taking on this role. Serving our community is an important job, and I appreciate you doing that. I'm just going to ask, when you were in Ireland, what part were you and how long were you there?
I was there for about a month. We spent 2 weeks in Dingle, then went up to Dublin, and then actually went over to Wales.
Okay. So. Wonderful. Thank you.
What does that have to do with anything?
I do. I'm extremely excited about these.
Yeah, even Boots is like, what was that all about? It's like, I don't know.
So well-rounded, starting with Ms. Courtney Bond, and now you, Mr. Thomas. Thank you for stepping up. We need so many people like you guys to bring your expertise. Just you two, with a broad variety of backgrounds, is really going to come with a great set of eyes on this particular situation that we think is very important in our city. So thank you both very much.
Sure.
Thank you, Councilor. I will give credit to our staff who have done a great job. Mr. Stoppers and his team have done a great job in helping us bring together a great group of people to serve on some of these boards. So they've done a great job in vetting folks and putting names forward and doing the hard work to get folks to serve on these boards. So our staff gets all the credit for that. So, yes, ma'am. Councilor Carlino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That actually brings up a good point, and definitely thank you to Chief Sowers. But since it is the beginning of the year, would you be willing to share with us the vacancies that pertain to this committee, that if we may have community members that are interested?
Carlino, can we get through with Mr.
Oh, sorry, I thought
Thomas.
we already motioned.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so excited. Sorry, Brett. Nice bow tie.
No
Okay.
worries, thank you.
Let's finish up with the appointment first. The chair, anyone in the audience care to speak to Proposal 39? The
Threw
chair
them
will
off.
entertain a motion.
It's threw them off.
Motion been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Yep. Councilor Carlino, up there is a list. I think I got an email. Did that go just to me, or that went to, I didn't look at the list. I know I got the email a week or two ago about the opens. Was that just to me, or was that to?
I will never. I would love to be on one of these boards, but they will never, ever let me on one of those.
Vacancy spreadsheet, if you're not getting it, it's
check email,
approximately
Counselor.
quarterly, so she should be sending one out for the end of last year, and it should have the upcoming vacancies and then any current vacancies. Sometimes it's a little hard to keep track of all that.
It went out a few weeks ago. I remember seeing it.
Okay,
It
if
went
she's
out.
already sent it, then yeah.
It went out
Since
a
the
few weeks
first of the year?
It will probably not come out, since we're filling positions, she probably won't do one until the end of the first quarter.
ago. Mr. Starr, is that it? Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's coming. We have a schedule, we have a routine, and they're coming. So you'll get, when they have it finished, you'll get it.
If you have any questions about it, you can always contact the office. We can let you know. There's always vacancies.
Yeah, send them resumes, get resumes from your folks, and send them to our team. They'll look through them, and they'll
McCormick has me blocked on Facebook and has never returned any of my emails. So
Mr. Showers, Chief, you want to comment?
that'll never happen. She's my counselor.
Individuals that you feel fit the parameters of these boards and commissions, we would love to hear.
State your name for the record, please, sir.
Greg Stowers, Chief Administrative Officer, City County Council.
Thank you. Welcome.
All right.
Appreciate it. No items on our agenda. We are adjourned.
Fantastic. All done there. So what happened? Well, let's break it down real quick. OPHS is spending your tax-paying dollars on stupid shit and just trying to normalize communism. We got some public defender board appointees that, I don't know, that are from handshakes and hand jobs, and a citizens complaint, police complaint board that I'm never going to be on, even though I'd love to be on it. So there was another committee meeting yesterday. I'll do that video tomorrow. This Wayne Township merger one has so many layers to it, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do it. So expect another video tomorrow afternoon, and probably the Wayne, we'll see about the Wayne one. Also, I will be putting my notes down into the description area of the things that I looked up, including Carlino's salary and all of the government paid jobs that she had, and some of the all the articles that I looked up during the stream. So, until next time.